Hello, friends. Welcome to another session on Quant. Uh, I'm Orko. So, as you know, what we do here is primarily talking about the topics in Quant that we have in CAT and other non-CAT MBA entrance exams in India. And like we do every time we take up a topic, we do a foundational session on the topic. Then there will be a couple of sessions follow up on that same topic itself. One is the problem that have cemented or that have strengthened your foundational understandings, or level one, typically some level two problems, just to help your foundational understanding stronger. And then the third session on any topic where we talk about the advanced level problems, or level 2 level 3 kind of problem. Both level 1 to level 3, any problem can come in CAT or non-CAT MBA entrance exams. But that's how we follow. Today's topic is little different. As you can see, it's about speed maths. Now you may think, why we need speed maths when it comes to a CAT, which is not typically for me and speed exam. But it's good to have certain techniques or certain uh, tricks under your sleeve, and you can bring it whenever it's needed. And this is more of a practice. If you do it on a day-to-day basis for few months, or at least for uh, 3 to 4 weeks in a row, if you just practice it like 5 minutes, 10 minutes a day, you will can gain real mastery on it. And by speed math, I don't want you to become an expert in Vedic maths or summation, multiplication, calculation. No, not like that. What we will try to focus today is where you need primary understanding of speed math and application based speed math learning, which you will be needing very much when it comes to calculations in CAT, and specifically exams like INMAT, SNAP, IFT, which are typically a speed based exam, where calculation can become little intensive. If you have an access to calculator, none of this tricks will work. But even if CAT allows calculator sometime, if you are preparing for non-CAT exams, you must have the skills, and you can't build those skills over time. Like on the last day, you have to start practicing it through from the beginning, and the problems you do on a day-to-day basis, the practice has to come, and then only you can gain mastery on this. So nothing very deep into Vedic maths, thousand rules or to remember for doing a multiplication, not like that. And I'm again not asking you to refer some Vedic math book or some 30 tricks of speed maths, not needed. Typically, try to focus only on the area that is absolutely relevant and usable for you when you are solving any problem from any area in CAT and other entrance exams. So if you try practicing this in your mocks, it will be really helpful for you. I'll start a new one. So do speed maths. So what we are intended to cover in speed maths, I will first summarize this. So the first topic is going to be uh, table to remember. So I will give you uh, some particular things that you need to memorize and by heart. So this is the only area you should absolutely mug up and memorize. No second thought in this first point. So I don't encourage too many things to mug up and rattamanda type, but you have to do these things, and trust me, this is possibly the only thing I will recommend. If you follow me in the entire quant journey, you will see possibly this is the only thing I'll tell you to buy absolutely by heart. And I'll tell you why, and you will see why this is very foundational to be by hearted, and that how much value it will bring out. So number one, number two, will do the techniques to do square. And you typically see, if you follow any particular technique, any particular book, any particular channel, you will see there are 5 to 10 techniques to do square. If the number is ending with 5, number is ending with 10, number is ending with 7, number ending with 9, there will be multiple techniques. But again, I'll tell you one technique, and irrespective of whatever number you have, whatever digit you have, it will work. So let's focus on that. The third topic that we are going to do is percentage and decimal equivalent. So this is one area, again, if you can by heart, it's good. Otherwise, if you can understand the logic, you can possibly able to remember some of them. I'll tell you how to do that. Then typically we do a small multiplication technique. I could have done this earlier, but let's do this multiplication technique, which is comes handy at certain times when you know how to do these multiplications. And then we will focus on the most important part of your speed maths, the couple of areas. One is percentage approximation, and the second is fraction comparison. So these two areas are very much foundational, and this is the only thing you need to know before you solve any kind of DI or intensive calculation based problems. So if you understand the percentage approximation and fraction comparison, trust me, most of the time you will be able to solve DI, calculation intensive DIs, very easily, even if you don't have access to calculator. So that's the main idea. That's the main area where I want to develop your understanding and skill on that. But to reach there, the first 3-4 areas are also equally important. But like I said, if you can recall from my percentage profit and loss class, the topic where I was talking about percentage, this is the area actually you need to remember from percentage. So this is one area, 3, 5, 6. These are the three things from percentage you absolutely need to master on. And we will see how important it is when we start solving this. So these are the 6 things primarily we'll cover in speed maths. And trust me, you don't need anything else if you're preparing for CAT, non-CAT MBA entrance exam. Even if you're preparing for GMAT, GRE, you do absolutely don't need anything else apart from this 6 areas. So with that, let's get started. I'll start with the multiplication one. So that's a little simpler one, and we will be able to solve it faster. So multiplication technique, there may be a lot of multiplication technique you have heard from the school days, is or your growing up years. You possibly, if you have spent time in Vedic maths or any other area, you possibly have seen more number of techniques to do multiplication faster. The only technique I follow, and I always remember, learn one technique and try to reuse them as much as possible. So I'll tell you one technique. See if these things makes faster for you. Absolutely adopt it. If you have a faster technique with you, you can very well go at the end of the day. We need to get the value faster, not the technique we want we use. So there is no point of doing a better technique. But if you feel this techniques is something that giving you a faster result, at least try practicing for a week and see if you can adopt it. It's good. If you have a better one, feel free to move ahead. But I can guarantee you this, you won't get much techniques that are faster than this that I'm going to tell you. So multiplication, there may be 2 type of multiplication. First, let's start with 2 digits. So when I say 2-digit multiplication, so 2-digit multiplications are primarily, let's say there is a 2 number, 12 and 37, right? So normally you can do 12 calculation easy, 12 into 7, and you can do that. But let's do it in a different way. So first, what we'll do, this is the unit digits and this is the 10th digit, right? So I have 2 and 7 in unit and 1 and 3 as 10th digit. So with that, we'll get started. So 2 and 7, if I first multiply these 2 unit digits, 7 and 2 becomes 14. I have 1 in hand. The next step is cross multiply and add. What I mean by cross multiply and add is 7 into 1, 3 into 2. 7 into 1 is 7, plus 3 into 2 is 6. 7 plus 6, 13, plus I have 1. So how much is coming? 13 is 114. And I have 1 in hand. Again, 1 in hand. The last step is 3 into 1, 3 plus 1, 4. So this is the answer. 444 is going to be your answer. So again, so what I did, let's say AB and CD are two-digit number. First step I do by multiplying VD. See the trend. If you understand this trend, you don't have to remember. First, I'm taking this one. Then I'm cross multiplying this and this, right? So the second step will come from AD plus BC. And the final step again is this one, AC. So if you see, there are two numbers. So 12 and 37. I take these two first, multiply, get the first digit. Then I cross multiply these two, get the second digit by adding them. And last I'll do the cross multiplication of this tens digit. So you see there is a trend. So first is the all the unit digit, then unit and 10 cross multiply and add, and then on the tens digit you need to multiply. So this is the absolute trend. So let's say another example. Let's say you have 37 and 79. Obviously not an easy calculation. You don't know the table of 37. So let's see if we can do it faster. So 7 into 9, 63. I have 6 in hand. 3 into 9 is 27. Plus 7 into 7 is 49. So if I can do it quickly, 49 and 27 gives me 15, 16, 76. 76 plus 6 is 82. So I have 2, 8 in hand. So this become 8. 3 into 7, 21 plus 8 is 29. So 2923 is my answer. Again, this is my way of calculating multiplication faster and possibly the fastest way, at least the technique I know of. Now you can say, what if there is a 37 and 7? So you can back up with 0 and do the same thing, you will get the answer. Now, if you ask me how to do it for 3 digits, now again, try to see the trend and you will be able to do it for all the digits you, no matter how many digits you have. So let's say I have 1, 2, 3 and 3, 2, 1 is a multiplication. Again, try and see the trend. First, again, starts with this 3 into 1. So I get 3. Next is again 2 into 1 plus 3 into 2. So 2 into 1 is 1 plus 3 into 2 is 6. So 2 into 1 is 2 plus 3 into 2 into 6. So 6 plus 2 is 8. So this is the second digit. What is my third digit? Third digit, and see this carefully. I do 1 into 1, 3 into 3, and 2 into 2. So that means 1 into 1 is 1, 3 into 3 is 9, 9 plus 1, 10, plus 2 into 2, 4. 10 plus 4, 14, I have 1 in hand. What should be my fourth digit? Fourth digit is 1 into 2, 2 into 3. So 2 into 1, 2, plus 2 into 3, 6. 2 plus 6, 8, plus I have 1 in hand, 9. And the last digit, 1 into 3. So 1 into 3 is 3. So this is the answer, 39483. So if you see this carefully, what we did again, try to identify the trend A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So first we take these two. This is my first digit. Like two-digit multiplication, what we did, B into F, and these two cross multiply and add. This is my second digit. My third will come from cross multiplying the extreme ends and the middle one, and then add all of them. So this is my third. What will be my fourth? My fourth will be again these two, A into D, E, B into D. And my last one is going to be this. So this is my family. So understand the trend. I start with unit, then take tens into it, unit and 10 cross multiply add. Then I add 100 to it, unit and 100, unit and 100, and 10 and 10 add, and kind of got the third one. Then once I completely use the unit, I shift to the right. I take tens and hundreds. So all two of them together. Got it. And then last is 100. So I started with, so let's say 1, 2, 3, and 3, 2, 1. I started with one digit at a time. Then I took this two digit at a time. Then I took this three digit at a time. Then I moved to the left, take this two digit at a time, and then again close with one digit at a time. Same thing, if you remember, we did with 2 digit. I start with 1 digit at a time, take 2 digit at a time, then again 1 digit at a time. So there is a clear cut trend. If you can understand this, you will be able to identify it. So I'll do it for one more problem so that it becomes easy for you. Let's say 789, 337. I'm just taking any random number. How to do that? So 7 into 9, 63. I have 6 in hand. 8 into 7 plus 3 into 9. 7 8 is 56 and 27. 56 and 27 is 66, 76, 83. 83 plus 6 is 89. So I will have 8 in hand. Next is 7 sevens are 49 plus 9 threes are 27. So 7 sevens are 49, 9 threes are 27. 49 and 27 is 76. 76 plus I have 8 into 3, 4. 76, 8 into 3, 24. 76 plus 24 is 100. 100 plus 8, 108. I have 10 in hand, right? Now again 7 into 3. So these two, 7 into 3 and 8 into 3. 7 3s are 21, 8 3s are 24. 21 plus 24, 45. 45 plus 10, 55. I have 5 in hand. The last tip is 7 3s are 21. 21 plus 5, 26. So this is my answer, 265,893. Right? So this is the way you can do it from fastest way of multiplication. Now, one thing, if you identify, I am not writing this calculation always here. So when I'm doing 7 into 3 plus 8 into 3, I'm forcing you to do some calculation in your mind. So that's the main crux of your speed maths. Use pen and paper to the minimal possible and try to process some of the calculation in your mind. It won't happen in day one. But like I said, if you do it for a month or at least for 3 weeks, you will be able to master this skill. So uh, try to process the numbers in your mind. It will be much faster. Speed maths you can't do at speed if you are writing everything in pen and paper. That's why I'm not writing also here everything. Trying to force you to think through your mind and process some of the calculation in your brain. Okay, now you can take any random number and do this process. If you have any doubt in understanding, please reach out to me in the comment section or drop me a mail. We can add in the session and I will be able to guide you better. If you are stuck somewhere or if you have doubt, you can drop a comment. I'll be able to help also. So that's about it. So I don't want to spend much time on multiplication, but this is how you should do it. I will tell you how to do it for 4 digits, not typically solving something, but just trying to give you the usability of the reusability of this technique. So even if you have a 4 digit number, what you should do, and you should identify this by yourself right now till I'm telling, is start with 1 digit at a time, move to 2 digit at a time, then move to 3 digit at a time, then move to 4 digit at a time. Once this is done, then once all the 4 digits at a time was taken, then you come to this 3 digit at a time, then come to this 2 digit at a time, and then close with 1 digit at a time. So this is how you follow. So this is clear cut. It's happening in a rhythm. If you can identify this rhythm of the trend, you should be able to solve any type of number. And again, if there are non-equivalent numbers, so 3 digit, 2 digit, or 4 digit, 2 digit, you just have to append it with 0 to make all the numbers equivalent. So this is the best way to do two numbers multiplication and possibly the fastest way. Again, try practicing this for some time. You will be able to gain a lot of mastery to it. Okay. Moving on, next is the most important table I was talking about. You just need to remember this. I'll just give you a list. Get this number printed or noted down in a pen and paper and absolutely paste it while you study. Just look at it for 5 minutes before you study every day. This table will help you a lot in a lot of areas that we are going to talk about further. So what you need to remember, and this is the table you have to by heart. So one is multiplication table. Till 20. So you need 19 sevens are how much you have to on top of your mind. 18 nines are how much, you have to be on top of your mind. You can't keep thinking on this. Okay. So this is multiplication table till 20. You just need to remember. Then you need to remember squares till 30. So someone asking you 27 square, 729 should be on top of your mind. You can't calculating this and then telling the answer. So these are the few things you have to remember and have to be always on top of your head. Cube till 15. So someone asks you what is 8 cube, 512 is the answer. Has to be on top of your mind. You can't be calculating these numbers on the runtime. Then percentage and decimal equivalent till the percentage or decimal, or you can say reciprocal equivalent till 20. So what I mean by this is what is 1 by 1, how much is 1 by 2, what is 1 by 3, what is the percentage and reciprocal equivalent, that you need to remember till 20. So someone asking you what is 1 by 16, you possibly have to have on top of your mind what is 1 by 16. So that's the level of thinking you need to have. What is the percentage means of 1 by 16? What is the percentage equivalent of, let's say, 1 by 13? So these are the things you have to remember, and I will do a table for that. You can keep that table and again use that table along with this to just go through 5 minutes before you study every day. So this entire thing. So you can keep a table created for multiplication table till 20, table for squares till 30, table for cube till 15. So this entire everything, keep it in one sheet, paste it where you study 5 minutes before the call, before you start studying every day, and you will be absolutely fine. Then the next thing that you need to remember is yeah, I think this 3 4 thing should primarily suffice, and nothing else coming to my mind on top. Yeah, if you remember this 4 thing, I think you should be good. So square, cube, multiplication, and percentage, and decimal equivalent. So these are the 4 things should be enough for you. Okay. Along with this, if you want remember, then there are a couple of things you can remember. Power of 2 till 2 to the power 12. So someone asking you what is the value of 2 to the power 7, 128 should be on top of your mind. Similarly, power of 3 till, let's say, 3 to the power 8. So these are the 2 things you can remember. Again, 3 to the power 5, absolutely 343 on top of your head. So, sorry, 243 on top of your head. So again, these are the things you just need to by heart, absolutely, and you should be fine with this. So now let's focus on this reciprocal part. So reciprocal and percentage equivalent. So along with the previous table, if you can keep this chart printed and stick where you study, should be fine. So again, we'll start with 1 by 1. Everyone can say this is 100%. What is 1 by 2? Is 50%. What is 1 by 3? Is 33.33%. What is 1 by 4? It is 25%. Basically, if you multiply with 100, whatever you get, that we are just converting. What is 1 by 5? 20%. What is 1 by 6? 16.66%. What is 1 by 7? It's 14.28%. It is 1 by 8? 12.5%. What is 1 by 9? 11.11%. Is 1 by 10? Is 10%. One knows. Just use this a little. Yeah. So what is 1 by 11? Is 9.09%. 1 by 12? 8.33. 1 by 13 is 7.14%. Just a minute, let me check if it is 7.1. No, this is 7.8%. So 7.8%, my bad. Or you can say this is, sorry, my bad. So this is something around. So if you do 13 7 is 91, 90, so 7.7% something. 1 by 14 is 7.14%. 1 by 15, 1 by 15 is 6.6%. Is 1 by 16, 6.25%. Right? Similarly, there is not much space here. I will do this here. So what is 1 by 17? 1 by 17 is 5.9%. 1 by 18, 5.5%. 1 by 19, 5.2%. And 1 by 20 is 5%. So if you can remember this 1 to 1 by 1 to 1 by 20, this is very helpful. So someone asking you what is 5 by 16, you can easily tell 5 by 16 is 31.25%, because you know 6.25 is 5%. Means someone asking you, can you tell me 31.25% of 160? If you can convert that 31.25 to 5 by 16, if you know that 1 by 16 is 5.6.25 and 5 times of that is 5 by 16, which is close to 31.25, then you can easily do it in 1 second. For 31.25 is 5 by 16, and 5 by 16 into 160 is typically 50. So that's the fastest way of calculating percentage. I know it's not always possible to remember the percentage equivalent and try to have their multiple on mind, on top of the mind. But if it clicks, that is going to be the fastest way of calculating any percentage. If it does not click, how we will do will come later. But again, this should be your first line of defense when you have to do speed math or percentages calculation very fast. So again, try to stick it. Again, I'm repeating this multiple times. Stick previous table and this table, previous values and this table in one place, and just go through it for 5 minutes, at least for 20-21 days. You should be fine with this. You absolutely can master it with just, or else what you can do is when you are traveling or just sitting idle, you have time in your mind, just take any random number, try to do the try to see if you can identify the percentage values and stuff like that. More on that I'll come in the last sections where we do the percentage approximation, where this ideal brain will not be a devil 7. It will actually help you train your brain much more sharper and make you more stronger in calculating percentages faster. That I'll come to the last stage. But this also you can try when you are sitting idle. Just think, what is 7 by 16%, 7 by 16 in terms of percentage? I know 1 by 16 is 6.25, 7 by 16 is possibly 42, so plus 0.25 into 7, so something like 43.75. So what if you have an approximation, you know, somewhere between 40 to 43% it should be. So that's the level of fastness you need. You don't need the exact value, you need the approximation, and that will help you a lot. And so yeah, let's move on to the next section where I should cover about the squares. I'll come to this percentage calculation in the last two sections, but let's finish up the squares first up. So what we do in squares, we do two things in squares. And there is only one technique that I'm going to tell you, and don't get confused, because most content you will see in how to do squares, there will be a separate formula for ending with 5, separate formula for ending with 9, separate formula for ending with 3, number close to 25, number close to 50. There will be multiple techniques, but the technique I'm going to tell you, one technique, and it is repeatable always. So squares. Let's start with a very basic number, which you already know. Let's do 12 square. Everyone know it's 114, 144. So this is 144. Let's see if we can do this with a very simple technique. So 12, any number you get, remember the first step, the step 1, to get the closest multiple of 10. Closest multiple of 10. So what is closest multiple of 10 for 12? It's 10 itself. So I'll go 12 to 10. So how much unit I have come down? I have come down by 2 unit. Then I have to go up by 2 unit from 12. So that means I'll go till 14 minus. So I have come down to reach the closest multiple of 10 by reducing 2 units. So I'll increase 2 units. Cross multiply this and add back this, the unit you have come down or come up. So 2 square. So 14 into 10 is 140 plus 4, 144. And this is one technique you can apply always. For example, let's say 89 square, or this is a little, I'll come to this in a minute. Let's say 37 square, right? So again, what we should do, go to the closest multiple of 10. What is the closest multiple of 10? 40. And it's not necessary to go to closest multiple of 10. You can go to any multiple of 10, but then the difference will increase and you have to know the square of the difference. So that's where I'm saying closest multiple of 10. 40. So I have come down by 3 unit. I'll go up by 3 unit. So 40, sorry, I have go up by 3 unit here. So I'll come down by 3 units. So 37. So 34. So I'm saying is 40 into 34. So I have to do 40 into 34 plus 9 square. So 40 into 34, 44 is 160, 16 in hand. 43 is 120 plus 16, 136 plus 9. Sorry, this is 3 square. 3 square is 9. So 1369 is my answer. Right? Now, if you have something like 89 square, you can very well go to 90 and 88 and add back 1 square, which is the how much you have come up or how much you have gone down, right? 1 square. But 19 to 88 is typically not a very easy calculation. It's easy, but if you want to do it a little more faster, what you can do is you can very well go till 100. So that means, which is not the immediate closest multiple of 10, but another multiple of 10. So how much you have gone up? Gone up by 11, you have to come down by 11. So come down by 11, it should be 78. And you have to add back 11 square. So 100 into 78 is 7800 plus 11 square is 121. So that means 7921 is the answer. So that's why you can do it. So any number. So let's say I have to do 123 square. What I'll do, I'll go to 100. So 100. And I'll minus 23 unit down. So 23 unit up will take me 146. So I'll multiply this, add back 23 square. If you are not confident on 23 square on top of your mind, you can do the same technique for 23 also. I'll show you. So for 23, I'll come down by 3, 20, 26 plus 3 square, right? So this will tell me 26 into 20 is 520 plus 9, 529. So this is 529 and this is 14,600. You can add these two and get the answer. So this is the fastest way of doing square, and any number in the world will follow this. So this is one technique I just wanted to cover. Let me see what all we have covered till now from the list. So we have covered the table to remember, we have covered the square techniques, we have covered percentage and decimal equivalent, we have covered multiplication technique. Now comes the most important part of this part, which is the percentage approximation and fraction comparison. Let's go and let's see why we need this. So percentage comparison and fraction. So where do you need it? So typically if you see a data interpretation set, in Math, Snap, IFT, they give you a little complex, not complex, a lengthier one. Even in CAT, sometimes out of 3 sets, one set is a can be a calculation intensive set. What do I mean by calculation intensive set? Let's say there are 4 companies or 5 companies, A, B, C, D, E. Now there are 10 years sale is given, year 1, year 2, year 3 till year 10. 10 years sale is given, and everywhere there is a value, 33 lakh, 40 lakh, 45 lakh, 60 lakh, 70 lakh. Similarly, so that means you can see there are 50 values that is there. Now they will tell you in out of all this company and all these years, which company has the highest percentage year-on-year growth and in which year? So you have to basically compare A ka year one versus year two versus year three versus year four versus year five. If you do it manually without a speed math or percentage approximation technique, how much percentage? So let's say 33, here they have reached 40. If you want to calculate exact 33 to 40, sorry, how much percentage it is without any strategy in your mind, you have to do this comparison 50 times and your entire time will go in this calculation. So the idea is do the approximation. You don't need the exact percentage. You just need to see possibly 33.7 is increased out of 33. How much percentage it is. If somewhere I see 40 has become 80, then I know this is anyway more than 33 becoming 40. So I don't need this exact calculation. I need to find the highest percentage. I don't need the value. I just need the year and the company. So I just need to approximate those percentages and see how quickly and how fast I can identify that particular value. So that's where percentage approximation techniques comes mostly handy. So there are two things in percentage calculation. When there are two numbers and you try to find out what percentage of one number is the other number, is the other one. And the second one is X percentage of a number is equal to how much. So these are the two things that you calculate in percentage approximation. So let's start with this. So the first one, what I said is what percentage of one number is the other number. So let's say I do 127 upon 331, right? So I'll say is equal to what percentage is how much. 127 is what percentage of 331. So what I start doing it, first 331, I'll do what is the 10% of 331. Identify these steps. First, you find out what is the 10% of that number. 10% of that number is 33.1. So I have to reach 127. So how many times of 33 I can reach, which is less closest to 127. So I know 33 is my 10%. 33.1 is my 10%. So I do 33 into 1, 33. Similarly, 33 into 4, I know is 132. So I know 40% of 331 is 132, very close to 132, 132.4 or something, 132. Because 10% is 33.1, so 40% will be 132. So my 127 is less than 40% that I know, because 40% gives me 132. So this is level one of narrowing down. If you see some other values is more than 40% of identifying this will help you, then you stop right here. You don't need to do anything further recalculation. But if you see there are more than one answer in the less than 40% range, then you narrow down further. First you identify. So first what I identify, which 10th bracket it is falling. So I know here it is between 30 to 40, right? 30 is 99 something and 40 is 132. Now is which half of the 10th bracket? Which half of the 10th bracket? So that means what I want to say is it between 30 to 35 or 35 to 40? So what is 35 to 40? Because I know 30% was at how much? 30% was at around 99, 40% is around 132. So that means it is very close to 40% compared to a 30%, because my target is 127. So I know it is between 35 to 40%. So this is the second level of narrow down. Once you do this, if you don't have any other option between 35 to 40, you can mark whatever the answer is there. If there is more than one answer and then there is none of this kind of an answer, I have to narrow down further. So then calculate what is 1% and then adjust. So what is 1%? From here, I know 1% is 3.31. So something like 3.3 is 1%. So 132 to 127 is how much value? This is about 5. It's a 5 unit down. 3.3 is possibly 1%. So 2% will be somewhere around 6.6. I have to come down by 5 unit from 132. So that means I have to come down between 1% to 2%. So your answer lies between 38% to 39%. 39% means you could have come down by 3 units, so something around 129. And 38% means you have to come down by 6.6 units, something around 126. So between 38 to 39 is your answer. So if you can narrow down to at this level, 99.99% problem will solve here. 1% which is not solved, you have to calculate that exact value. That you can do, but see the idea, see the narrow down, the approximation technique. You may not be necessarily coming till this stage. You can very well close the answer at this stage if there is no other answer which is falling between 30 to 40%, right? So basically the idea is first narrow down the 10th bracket, then narrow down the which half of the 10th bracket, then narrow down what is 1% and adjust between that. I'll take one more example. So let's say 721, and I'm absolutely taking any random example. Let's say 1327. What percentage? So 10%. Again, I'm identifying the 10th bracket first to 132.7. So I know 132 into 4 is how much? Or let's say 5 is how much? 660, right? And 132 into 6 will be somewhere around 792. Yeah, 792. So my answer, so 721 must fall somewhere between 50% to 60%. Now, which half of the 10th bracket? So 660 is where my 50% lies. 792 is where my 60% lies. So 662 to 721, it is somewhere exactly in between. So this is 132. What will be the half if I add 66 here, or if I come down from 66 here? 66 if I add, it will become 726. So 726 is where the 55% or the mid value will lie. How I got 66? It's 132 by 2, right? So 726. Again, I'm not taking 132.7. I'm just taking 132 for an approximation. So then what I need to do, and what you need to understand is actual 10% is 132.7. If I'm considering that as 132, that means my 5%, which I calculated as 66, will be a little less. It will, in actual world, it will be a little more, 66.2 or 66.3. 66.35 is actually. So this tuning you have to do. So when I say 726 is 55%, you need to know actual value is little more than 726. So 726. So that means 721 should lie between 50% to 55%. That we can do. Now I know 1% is 13.27. So 726 is 55%. I cannot go down by another 13 unit because I have to go down by only 5 unit. So then 0.5% is somewhere around 6.5 or 6.6%. So it is between 59.5 to 60% is my answer. Because I can't even go down by 0.5% also, because 0.5% means 6.5, 6.6 unit go down. 6.6 unit, I was at 55%. Sorry, my bad, not 59.6. Sorry. I was at 55% at 726. My target is 721. So I have to go down by 5 unit. If I have to go down by 5 unit, 0.5 is 6.6. So I cannot go even 0.5%. So my answer would be little more than 54.5, but less than 55%. So somewhere between these two is my answer. So this is the way you can approximate percentages. So how we can master this? Always try to do, always try to remember, take any two random number in mind when you are traveling or sitting idle. Just try to do this calculation in your mind. Can I do 10%? Okay. Can I narrow down which 10th bracket? Can I narrow down which half of that 10th bracket? Can I narrow down the exact percentage? These are the three stages you do percentage approximation here. And take any two random number and keep practicing this. This is very helpful. Now the next stage is X percentage of a number is what? So let's say I'm saying 31.25% of 160. Similar problem. See, the way if you can identify it is 5/16 is equal to 31.25%. This is a one-step calculation. Most of the time you will not be able to. Not able to, then break this percentage into three parts. One is 30%, again a closest 10th percentage, 1% and 0.25%. So these are the easy calculations. So I know 160, what is 10%? 10% is 16. So 30% will be 16 into 3, 48. Right? Then I'll do 1%. 1% is 1.6. Right? And 0.25% is 1/4 of 1%. So 0.4. So I will add this 3. So this will become 20. Similarly, let's say I will do 27.7% of 320, right? So again, I can do 30% because that's the closest 10th percent. I can do 20 also, but whatever comfortable you are, if you want to add and do that, then I will come down by 2.3 unit. So I will do 2% and then I will do 0.3%. I have to subtract from 30. So 10% of that is 32. So 30% of that is 96. What is 2%? 1% is 3.2, 2% is 6.4. What is 0.3%? If your 1% is 3.2, so that means 0.1% is 0.32. So 0.3% is 0.96. So you have to subtract 0.96. So 96. So what you have to do? 96, which is 30%, minus 6.4, which is 2%, minus 0.96. 6.4 plus 0.96 is somewhere around 7.3 or 7.4. If you subtract this, it will become 89, somewhere around 88.6 should be your answer. So that's how, again, not the exact one, but you know this exactly where it is leading. So that's how it can do it faster. Again, when you are idle or say have some time in your mind or commuting somewhere, just take any to random percentage value and a random number and try to get that value on your mind. Don't use pen and paper. Try use your mind. Break this in your mind, add this in your mind, process this calculation in your mind, and then see how close you get. Again, a typical 21 day to 1 month practice, you will absolutely master it, and there is a very high value return you will get from here, from all the CAT in MAT calculation, specifically in DI. 80% of the DI is percentage based. And if you know percentage approximation faster, this is the best way you can solve your DIs. Without this, it's very challenging to crack your in-MAT SNAP IFT kind of exam. Even in CAT, certain sets are calculation intensive. So if you know this, it's the best way to do it. If you have a calculator, you can somehow survive, but in-MAT SNAP IFT will never allow calculator. So be prepared with this, possibly a month's time, and then continuous practice through your mocks and practice sessions. You will be able to master it very soon. And this is a very important skill to have. I'm not overloading you with speed maths, but just giving you what is necessary. Now the last part is fraction comparison. Again, there are multiple ways you can do fraction comparison, right? So let's say you have 237 by 729 and you have 841 upon 1230. These are the two random numbers. How will you calculate the fraction? So one way to, again, go the percentage route, identify the 10th bracket. So I know 73 here is almost 10%. When I say 73, I'm approximating a little high. So 237 is, let's say 73 into 3 is how much? 3 3s are 9, 3 7 are 21. And I know 73.4 will be more than this. So this is between 30 to 40%. I know this is my 10th bracket. Let's say for this, 123 is your 10%. So 50% of this will be 615. So I know 841 is surely more than 50%. So obviously this number is more. So you can approximate the percentages. Now, if both of them lies between 30 to 40, then your job is to narrow down which half each of them lie. Even if they both lie in the same half, then you go to the 1% rule. So basically, what you did, the percentage calculation, you can very well do it here. Apart from this, there are few techniques. If you want to know, obviously, if there are same numerator, 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, among them, you know which is the lowest denominator. This is the highest, right? Similarly, if you have numbers, let's say 3 by 1, 3 by 2, 3 by 4, wherever the numerator is the denominator is the lowest, this is the highest. And let's say your denominators are same. So let's say 5. So 1 by 5, 2 by 5, 3 by 5. Wherever the numerator is highest, that number is the highest. So these are very common techniques. Couple of techniques, couple of things I just wanted to cover. Sometimes you see the gap between numerator and denominator are same. Let's say 2 by 3, 4 by 5, 6 by 7. All these are less than 1. In this case, the highest denominator is, so this 7 by 6 is how much? 0.8 something. This is 0. 4, so something around 0.85. This is exact 0.8. This is 0.66. So you see, so if it is less than 1, gaps between numerator and denominator are same, then the number with the highest numerator is the highest number, right? Gaps between numerator and denominator are same if all of them are less than 1. So if you just make them reciprocal. So if all these are more than 1, so 3 by 2, 5 by 4, 7 by 6, all these are more than 1. In this case, gaps between numerator and denominator are again constant, but all of them are more than 1. But if you see, this is 1.5. Okay. This is how much? 4 by 5? 1.25. This will become typically 1.1. So again, this becomes the highest. So in this case, lowest numerator is the highest number. So whenever the gaps between numerator and denominator are same, if all of them are less than 1, then the number with the highest numerator is the highest. If all of them are more than 1, then the number with the lowest numerator is the highest. So these are a couple of things you can remember from a fraction calculation standpoint. But a lot of time you won't get these ideal scenarios. So I think what you need to understand is this fraction comparison by converting into percentages. So these are the summary of speed maths I just want to cover. You don't need typically anything beyond this. So absolutely focus on this much. And if you practice it for 3 weeks, you will be absolutely fine. If you have any struggle, any difficulty in understanding certain concepts, drop me a note or a mail in the mail ID given in the description box, and I should be able to take you. We can arrange a session and I'll be able to help you through that. That if you have still following me and listening this, and if you feel this session is helpful too, please like, share, subscribe, and it will motivate me. It takes a lot of time to plan and deliver this content, and it will be really helpful if you can do share, subscribe, and like this, and feel free to drop a comment so that I get motivated, and obviously for the algorithm. So see you for the next time. Have a happy practicing, and we hope you make this speed maths absolutely a perfect skill for you so that you can crack calculation intensive sets very easily. Thank you for being with us. See you next time. Bye.